KP classes dedicated to excellence.
NATA examinations are going on, and one of the questions which is being repeatedly asked is regarding logo design. Logos are a very important part of graphic design, and they help in communicating an ideology of an organization, a company, or a brand. Our students had a lot of queries regarding what are the most easiest way to approach these type of questions so that they can get maximum marks. So today, quickly, we'll look at the types of logo. Types of logo, knowing about it will help you to focus your idea. So if you are getting a question which is related to making a logo for a food company or making a logo for a cosmetic company or an IT company, you would exactly know what approach you need to take. So let's see 7 types of logo. Now, why 7 types of logo? We have shortlisted these logos to make it easy for you to understand, so that in your mind you have that segregation that, okay, do I need to make a logo which looks like logo number 1 or number 3 or number 5? So that's why we have segregated it in some easy, that's why we have segregated into certain points. First is monogram or letter mark logo, then we have word mark logo, we have pictorial mark logo, abstract logo mark, mascot logos, combination mark and emblem. So let's see what these type of logos are all about and which will be the best approach for your NATA examination. Okay, so the first is monogram logo, okay, or letter mark, which means that the logo comprises of the letter of the initial of an organization. So as we can see, HBO, IBM and HCL. Now these logos are simple. They can be monochromatic meanings using single color, but you can do certain variations in the font. See to it that the font is neat, but there is some element of interest in it that would keep an impact on people's mind who are looking at it. So if you see over here, HBO, seemingly a very simple logo, but the way the O is, it represents the lens of a camera or it represents the records, okay, the vinyl records that we had in the olden times. So it represents like that. Now we have over here is IBM. All of you know what the company IBM is all about, but very few people know that this particular logo had been designed in the early 70s by a very eminent graphic designer called Paul Rand. Now Paul Rand was, he worked on these logos and he did a lot of variation, and this one is one of the most iconic variation where instead of writing the letters simply, he used horizontal lines to represent it. Now even you can incorporate such elements in a particular logo that has been asked to you in the examination. You can incorporate either horizontal lines or vertical lines, or maybe it can be a combination of a solid as well as lines. Okay, so try it out at home. Then we have HCL. Now simply again HCL, a very iconic company. All of you know, all of you have a very good recall value of this particular logo. It's simple, bold and impactful. And the color that has been used is blue. Why blue? Because it represents calmness. It represents certain things in terms of formal. It's formal, it's calm, and it has a very strong presence. Okay, and you can also see the negative area. The negative area is white. So white and blue combination is both soothing to the eyes and at the same time it's standing up. So this was letter mark or monogram. So please remember that if you have, if you don't want to make too many symbols or too many imageries, this is one of the very unique and a very smart way to approach your logo design questions. Now the next one is word mark. How is it different from letter mark? Letter mark was all about the initials, okay? And word mark is about the whole word, where you're using the whole word as your logo. As you all know, one of the most common logo over here, all of you must be using Zomato a lot, right? So here, what is happening? Simply, the name of the company is given and the negative area is colored. Now, the negative area is colored using a red color. Why red? Because of course, red shows passion, it shows excitement, happiness. It's all about food. It's all about delivering happiness to you. And that's why a peppy color. And it also stands out. So when you're looking at a logo which is there on the bag or a t-shirt of a delivery executive from a distance, you're able to see it and you're able to recall that what the company is all about. There is no mess over here. It's clean and clear, simple and straightforward, so that the masses can remember it. They should have a good recall value. Again, over here we have Disney. All of you must be watching Disney Channel, and this particular brand is iconic in itself, right? But just look at the way the logo is. It's playful, okay? The font over here, let's look at the fonts, the way they are. Unlike Zomato, which is very bold, which is very neat, so that you can see it from a distance, Disney again is all about happiness. It's about playfulness. So somewhere the font is very playful. The way the D has been written shows a lot of movement, right? And again the color, the background is white and the letters are written using blue because it needs to stand out. It needs to stand out on a TV screen where the channel is playing some program, okay, because you have seen it in so many places. These sort of logos are used by TV channels, on motion pictures, on hoardings, etc., on t-shirts, right? And next one is again a very, very iconic and one of the most trusted brands of India, which is Godrej. Now again, this particular logo went through a lot of changes throughout the time. Keeping in mind the new scenario and the changes, they had introduced certain colors in it. Initially, it used to be a monochromatic color, but this whole font is so iconic because you don't even need to remember the old color. The way this particular logo is, it's being used everywhere. If you remember, the almirahs, the steel almirahs, right, which had the Godrej brand monogram on it, the metallic one, right, on a lot of keys and locks you see Godrej. So this is again iconic, and it had retained the font throughout the year. They have definitely played with the color, right? So this particular color might go on packaging, might go on advertisements, might go on hoardings, right? But they have always retained the style of the font. So this is how iconic brands create a value for them and create a positioning in the minds of the people. And you as students also need to keep in mind that whatever you are creating, it has to be simple yet assertive, and yet it needs to have a very strong product positioning in the minds of the viewers. Moving on, we have pictorial mark logos. Now, of course, not all logos are just initials or fonts. There are so many other logos which are pictorial in nature, which has a particular symbol in it, okay? So here the word symbol is there. Now, this is where you students will be using your creativity depending upon what sort of brand logo you are creating. You're free to use symbols as well, right? And why do we use symbols? Because symbols, they don't have any words in it, and it's easy. It breaks the language barrier. So anybody who's not able to read English or Hindi or some other language, but they can always relate to a symbol. So that's the whole point of having symbol-based logos or a pictorial logo. So as you can see, it's Flipkart, and see how the font is. It shows speed, it shows quick, okay, like a quick delivery. Everything is available, right? And it would just arrive in a, like in a splash. So that way, then of course, this shows a shopping bag. Himalaya, as we all know, so even if the word or the brand name is not there, just looking at the symbol, you would definitely know what the brand stands for. And definitely it's an Ayurvedic brand, and that's for the symbol of a tree. Please note that in this particular symbol, if you look at it as a whole, it definitely looks like a tree. But then if you see it minutely, you see people. People who are the backbone, who will be using these particular products for their benefit. So this particular brand is for the people, and they treat the people as the most important, assets for themselves, to whom they are catering. Next is, of course, it needs no introduction. Apple. Again, one of the most iconic brand of all times, right? So it needs no introduction. It's a simple symbol. And over here, please remember the name of the company and the symbol. They are not even, they don't even need to use it together, because the symbol itself is so iconic that you don't need to write a name over there. If you look at an Apple phone, so they don't write Apple. They just have this symbol. So that's the brand value of this particular company. So next is abstract logo. Now you can never go wrong in abstract logo. Use geometric shapes or organic shapes for these abstract logos. Now, what are these abstract logos all about? Again, they have to be simple and impactful and use certain principles and elements of design, like the use of space, negative and positive area, use of color, or use of certain lines and dots. So as we all know, this is Indian Postal Services. Now, when you are making an abstract logo, please remember that you don't need to always relate the image of the logo with what the company does. Okay, for example, I'll give you an example like Nike. They are into clothing and shoes, but what does their symbol looks like? It has nothing to do with clothing or shoes. Okay, if I talk about Apple, so they make electronics products, right? But does the symbol looks like electronic product? No. The symbol, the abstract logo can be independent of the nature of job the company is into, right? So like Indian Postal, very simple abstract logo they have created. It doesn't show an envelope, it doesn't show a letter or something, right? Then again, we have these two logos, and which are very abstract in nature. And please remember, in most of the cases, you have to either stick to a monochromatic color scheme or maximum 2 colors. Don't use too many colors. 4 or 5 colors in a logo design is absolutely not acceptable. Now this one, mascot logo. Now please remember that it will be little difficult for you to create a mascot related logos in the examination. But nevertheless, we talk about it so that next time if you want to attend something like that, you're free to attend. So in the mascot logo, what they do is, mascot means a representative character of an organization. Okay, so this particular representative character itself becomes the face or the logo of the company. Like this iconic gentleman who was like, I think he was 98 or 100 and something years of age when he died, and he's one of the most iconic person because he started this particular spice company which has been world famous. Okay, and all of you must have seen him in advertisements. And again, this cute little girl of Amul, which has been extensively used in storytelling and in cartoons and in creating advertisements. And then we have Quaker. So over here, the mascot of the company, the characters, it can be a human character, it can be an animal character or a hypothetical character. these characters are used as the logo of the company. Next is combination mark logo. Now this particular style of logo is the most common approach towards creating a logo in your examination. Okay, why? Because you have a nice symbol and you have the name of the company also. Please remember, if the name of the company is not given in your examination, then you need to create a hypothetical name. And that hypothetical name should not resemble the name of any particular person. Okay, please remember that. So this is, I would say, in my suggestion, combination logos are the most common approach and a very good approach for your examination, where you have a simple symbol and you have the name of the company. Again, note, you have to, the symbol can be both geometric or organic. Keep in mind the negative and the positive area. Okay, it should not be too messy. Don't, use too many elements into it. And also, please take care of the font. Take care of the space that you are using over here, right? So try and practice some of these combination logos on your own. Keep in mind the other aspects that we discussed in word mark logo and lettering logo. You can take those elements also. And please keep in mind the line weight as well. Line weight in the sense that what should be the thickness of the line of the font or of the symbols. Okay. This is again an example of a luxury brand which is using a combination logo. This, if you see, it's a little complicated, but nevertheless I gave this example because if some students might have an approach where they go for something which is very intricate or detailed. Also, keep in mind the nature of that particular brand. Like Versace is a luxury brand, so they can afford to have a very intricate symbol that symbolizes their uniqueness. Then we have these logos at the end, which are in the form of emblem. Okay. Again, there is a combination of different color, different font. There is an outlining. It always have to look like an emblem. It needs to have a background and a boundary. Okay. Think about what outer shape you are looking at. It can be hexagonal, it can be oval, it can be circle. It can be a combination of shapes which is like this. And this one we all know, it's our national emblem. And at the end we have the logo of our KP classes as well. So if you have by now not downloaded our app, or if you have not subscribed to us, so please do that right now, because we always come up with these informative videos for our students. And to avail the benefits, download our app today as well as subscribe to our channel. I'll see you in the next video.